So this is the top end of one of the tributaries of the River Glaven. This is the Burgh Beck in Melton Constable. It rises something like 80 metres upstream of where we are now. There's a little spring at the doctor's surgery. But in between there and here it goes under the road. And in between the spring and here, about 3 weeks ago, it picked up quite a large amount of oil that we've subsequently identified as either diesel or heating oil. It was running with it for something like 3 days. There was a sheen on the water, you could smell it. It was generally very unpleasant. You can see the riverbed today. There doesn't look to be a great deal of life in there. Something that concerns me mildly is we've got a series of these pipes running down the stream bed and bank, and you can see that one's cracked, it's leaking. I don't know what it's leaking. A separate issue to the oil spill. There's certainly no plant life in here. The banks are looking okay, and this was thick with oil something like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Melton Constable Beck, the scene of the oil spill. We're about 300 metres down from the site where I think the oil was coming into the stream. As you can see, it's no more than about 60 centimetres wide. It's maybe 5 to 10 centimetres deep. It looks in reasonably good condition. There's a few trees, about a bit of shade, which should explain the lack of plant life in there. The water quality looks decent, it's nice and clear. There's a little hint of oil down in the mud there, I don't know if that's visible. So what I'll do is take a 2-minute kick sample out of here and see what we've got. Okay, let's just see how well we can focus this. So this is the kick sample. This took about 2 minutes to gather, well, exactly 2 minutes to gather actually. It is the middle of April, so in here you would expect to see mayfly and caddis fly, maybe the occasional stonefly. But expect lots and lots of freshwater shrimp, and lots of little snails, mollusky type things, maybe water slaters, a few midge larvae you'd expect, and maybe blackfly larvae and worms and such like. If you look, there is a single gammarus freshwater shrimp, so I've spotted maybe 6 of those in the sample. I think on a good day doing this in a healthy stream you'd be certainly up into the 10s. I haven't been able to spot any mayfly whatsoever. Found one empty caseless, one empty cased caddis case. No stonefly, that's not necessarily indicative of anything on the Glaven. There's a few worms in there, quite a few empty snail shells, as there should be. I haven't found a live one as yet, but really that is very, very disappointing. So yeah, maybe 5 freshwater shrimp, a few worms, and no sign of anything else. Certainly no bullheads, no sign of crayfish. The neighbours say there were crayfish in here until fairly recently, but really not a lot of life at all. What's this? It's a tiny little black fly larva, I think, on the end of my finger. Very, very disappointing. Here we are on a different tributary of the River Glaven, up above Hempstead. As far as we know, this hasn't been affected by a pollution incident and should be fairly clean, although it does run through a lot more farmland than the Burgh Beck tributary. So there's always the possibility of fertilisers and pesticides, but as far as we know this is pretty good. The habitat's fairly similar. There's a bit of a faster flow coming through here, a little bit more water. Riverbed's very similar, a little bit of sand and silt, gravelly, not much in the way of vegetation in there. Similar in terms of overhanging trees, overhanging bankside vegetation. So this is pretty much as comparable to Melton Constable as I think we can get. So again, we'll do a 2-minute kick sample and see what bugs I can find in there. This is an absolutely unbelievable difference. This is hopping with life. There's loads and loads of freshwater shrimps there, the little gammarus. What else can we see? I think we've got a caseless caddis wriggling around in there. Got several caseless caddis wriggling around in there. I've got some kind of... There we are, I don't know if we can focus on that. These are the caseless caddis. So they'll hatch out to be caddis fly. There's so much life I can't even begin to describe it here actually. So hundreds and hundreds of freshwater shrimp. Those tiny little cylindrical things shooting around, they're mayfly nymphs. So what have we got there? We've got at least a couple of species of mayfly nymph. I haven't even begun to explore what's packed in amongst the leaves here. This is really what a clean chalk stream tributary should look like. Just absolutely buzzing with life. I think the cased caddises in particular, don't know what we can pick up with the camera. Got hundreds and hundreds. Got quite a variety of, well not quite a variety of mayfly, quite an abundance of mayfly. Hundreds of freshwater shrimp. Just have a little rummage around, see if anything else of interest might appear. This is beautiful, it doesn't get much better than this. There's very little missing in there, and a total contrast to Burgh Beck at Melton Constable.